God of War 2. We're playing Titan mode, and we just acquired the bow, and now we're going to be heading out here to free Prometheus of his torment by casting him in some fiery torment. So it's all good in Vic Benedict's hood. That's my name. And this is my guide. So I hope everyone's doing well. We're really having a nice time playing this game. I sure as hell am. I hope everyone's enjoying watching it, and I hope even more that people are benefiting from my guide. I want this to be as useful to everybody as possible. So just head on out here, and I'm going to direct you to a couple of treasure chests that you need to grab. What you need to do is just slide down this rock face. Jump down, and then the camera will pan towards the screen. And that was something that we saw before we entered the cave. Now we could actually access it with the aid of the bow. So we got some red orbs. See if we get the orbs this time. Yeah, we got a few. Got an eye too, an eyeball. That's always good. So I'm gonna head on over here and save it, just because you might as well. It doesn't hurt anything. So just head back up the way we came, and I don't believe there's any more enemies that spawn here. No, they don't. They're all gone. So just use the bow again, cross this chasm here, and then just head on over to Prometheus, and then take several shots to make him fall. But there is a fairly difficult part after this, and it involves some undead soldiers and some minotaurs. So I'll just let the scene play out.
Prometheus from the torment of the gods. His flesh has tainted the fires of Olympus and embodied it with the power of the Titans. These ashes will give you great strength, Kratos. Take them within you.
Okay, so the Ash Man gets more ashes on him. Thought that was kind of ridiculous, but okay. So now they're directing us to some points of interest up there, and now here's the fight. We have the rage of the Titans. So don't use that. You need to open the door. Although if you do, no worries. There's a meter. There's a chest that'll give you more yellow orbs. So I'm using these guys as projectiles, and one of the worst things to do is to get boxed into a corner, but it happens all too often for me because this area is just so small and there's just so many enemies. So just hop away from all the action, and I really hate to have to roll away from all the enemies so much. You won't see me doing that when I have the ability to parry. It's just that at this point in the game I can't parry, so I can't get that close to all the enemies, especially when they're in a group. When they're in a group, you can parry and you can do splash damage with the parry and kill, not kill, but move people away from you. So I don't know. It's a slight handicap at this point in the game, but make sure you always do the finishing move on these minotaurs, because that will give you they'll say plus 25 orbs. It should say ruthless kill. And I guess they don't get. I guess these aren't the health givers, because in God of War 1, it said anytime you defeat the Minotaurs, they give you health. So I'm not sure if maybe that idea didn't carry over to this game. I know in the Thesis battle you have to fight these guys. You have to kill like a dozen of them or so, and they give you your magic back. So yeah, we got a little health back that time. So these guys, I'm going to be talking about these guys in depth when I do my Thesis boss battle guide. It's really good to hold triangle, but don't hold it like to the point where you're leaping up. Just kind of release it at the last moment, and then when you launch the enemy up in the air, press the circle button again, and that'll do that swipe where you swipe them away from you. It's a pretty strong technique to do, and I would highly recommend doing that. You could block almost all of their attacks. They have like I think one move that you can't block, but I will be discussing them in depth on that boss fight because they're all over the place in that fight. It's probably it's not the hardest part of the game, but it's hard for what you have available for use. That's why it's tough. Okay, so now I'm going to get the chests. These treasure chests, they're I would consider them mandatory chests, and there's an edit right there because I fell off. It's hard to get on that chain with the snow blurring your vision a little bit, so just jump backwards here. There's 3 chests for you to grab. Yeah, I either get no orbs from the chests, or they'll give me like 25. Sometimes they give me like 3 one time. Like, fuck that shit, you know? 3 orbs? Man, I distinctly remember that. It was after. It was a little bit after the whole island sequence. But this game is just so incredible. It's a huge ass game, longest campaign ever in a God of War game. I hope God of War Ascension is long, because God of War 3, while it was fantastic and a masterpiece, it just wasn't long enough for my needs. I'm a hardcore gamer. I needed a long game, so it was definitely enjoyable though. Nice, got some phoenix feathers. Then that's it for the treasure chests. It's just those ones you need to grab. And then you're going to be doing some traversing over this chasm over here via this rope, or chain rather. And it's not that difficult as in God of War 1 when you're doing these sequences. It's that right there, that's actually the square move that I did right there. It's odd that the square button is not an attack, but that's the triangle button that I'm pressing right now. And I think I do the circle attack. I'm not sure what it does. I may have gotten grabbed. Yeah, I was trying to do it there. I got grabbed. So right here, you don't get damaged. You just either win or lose. So take your pick. Okay. I remember doing this. It was earlier today. I decided to level up while I was dangling over that chasm. So we got a couple of new moves, and the L1 plus circle button is going to be a real good move to use on Theseus. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll have to consult Wikipedia or something like that. So anyway, use your available Rage of the Titans here, and you can get more here in this box. And don't worry about if you use this. You can actually use it if you want to. You don't have to. They just put it out there so that the game it's not broken. But when you're hitting the hands that are holding your horse, and then you'll get Rage of the Titans, so it's not broken. So there's that L1 plus circle move. I apologize if I don't know the names associated with the button presses. It's just that I don't like. I'm more of a combo. I just like saying what the combo is because it's easier for me to remember the button presses, especially since I was doing them so recently. And it's just more helpful if I say what the button presses are rather than if I say the name of what the combo is. It would be nice. First of all, that would require me to remember a lot of things that I don't necessarily want to remember at this point in time, since I'll be having to remember like a lot of school facts soon. So it's gonna. But button presses are another thing. So that right there, that was the grab move, then pressing the triangle move, and you're invulnerable while you do that move. You're also invulnerable while you're throwing the enemies, but you're kind of not also, because at the same time you have to fling them really quick too. And if there's a lot of enemies around you, you can get interrupted. So you do. It is using the enemies as projectiles by pressing square. That is a move where you're invulnerable, but you have to do it really quick, and you have to make sure that no one's around. So head on up this scalable wall here. There's going to be some more enemies, but they're not as many as there were in the beginning. So again, I'm going to stick close to the area of the wall where the enemies can't go on, and then use the game's excellent grab detection to grab these enemies. So check out these grabs right here. Like, let's see. I know there was a good one over here. That was a pretty good one. Not on my part, but like the game's part. And it might even have been in the next level too. I think that was where it was, because there's some scalable areas on the island. So that's the last of the enemies. There's no more enemies. Just hop on up here. Make sure you always know how to familiarize yourself with scaling faster, because on one of the parts you have to avoid rocks and stuff. So just activate the Rage of the Titans here to get his fingers up. If you don't have any, just hit them with your regular hits and you'll get Rage of the Titans magic. Then just come on up here and then just hit this thumb, and then you're going to have access to the Pegasus. And then we're going to do the next video, which is the flying sequence part 2. Everybody take care.